Hey. So this is going to be our with spoilers review. If you watch the spoiler-free review, you'll see we're still in the petrol station. Paul's just, I can hear him putting away the tank now. Putting away the tank, you know, the nozzle thing. Oh, don't say ad nozzle. Work joke. So, no, I've just started the new one. Glasses on my head. Look, oh, spot the middle-aged man. Next thing, I'll be looking at you like this. So, yes, this is going to be the review of We Chat all with fucking tea. So, firstly, the first thing I have to say is the trailers gave too much away. Because although the trailers give away the baddies, I thought they were going to go Sinister Six. They don't. The 5 baddies you see are what you get. So I was expecting secret surprise baddie to come. Doesn't happen. That's not to say that the baddies that are in are not extremely well realised and kind of...
Do I go out that way?
Yes, that's the only way you can go. Okay. Kind of given a bit of justice, I think. So to see Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, Rhys Ifans, Thomas Hayden Church. Have I missed one? Sandman, Electro, Lizard. No, I've done them all. So to see them given...
You mentioned Alfred Molina.
Yep, proper MCU script style, proper MCU style scripting. It's a sheer joy and a delight. Especially as the one thing that was a surprise to me was I thought it was great that they're not all baddies all the way through. It's not just they turn up and they're going to try and kill Spider-Man. Oh, you're not my Spider-Man, but you're Spider-Man, so I will kill you anyway. That's not what this is about. Again, MCU style. There's a real plot beat to it. And I thought it was great that it had real heart. That these guys rock up in this universe, realise they're there because they died. Do you know what I mean? It was like at the moment of their death, they just pop up in the MCU, essentially. So I thought that was a really nice touch, and the fact that you then got to see them kind of go through a story arc. So they then, you know, had a bit of a redemption, then a bit of a fall from grace, and then a final battle, of course. But then to ultimately largely get redemption at the end too.
Yeah.
I thought that was lovely. There was a lot of closure in this film for what?
The whole
19 and a half years of Spider-Man movie history. So let's go on.
I would actually say, weirdly, this to me, Phil, kind of building on that, this basically is Spider-Man's sort of Infinity War / Endgame.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, in lots of ways. I'm going to give it a slightly better one. To me, it was Spider-Man does a multi-doctor story. If you watch Doctor Who and watch things like the 3 Doctors, the 5 Doctors, or what was the 50th called? I should know this. Day of the Doctor. And how they tied in lots of elements from kind of disparate parts of a franchise. But let's just talk about some of the lovely surprises. So, the first one, and this elicited, and some bloke down the front was proper cheering his head off. Matt Murdock from Netflix. What the fuck? And also, I mean, it's a throwaway. He's got like 6 lines or something. But so this is exciting. So does this now mean that Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Defenders, Punisher, Defenders of the Earth, was it? Yeah. Iron Fist. I knew I was missing one. So does that now put them all canon in the MCU?
Let's hope not Iron Fist.
I haven't watched any of it. I've seen 2.5 seasons of Jessica Jones and 4 episodes of Daredevil. But that ties in with... now, bear in mind, we haven't seen this week's Hawkeye, so our Hawkeye review will be late this week because we came to see Spider-Man instead. And I've got a rehearsal tomorrow, so it won't be till Friday. So does that mean we are going to get Vincent D'Onofrio turning up for Echo as her Kingpin?
That would be quite the...
It would imply it. I think it sounds like that's what's coming. I've not read anywhere that's confirmed. Don't think it is, that I'm aware of. I'm sure people will be very quick to comment because internet. So yeah, that's exciting as fuck, and I now need to go and watch them all and finish them, Jessica Jones, and do all of it properly, because I'm like, shit, what don't I know? So that's one thing. Say, got applause and cheers. Then when Ned suddenly has the powers of the ancient ones, and opens a portal, and you see Spider-Man down an alleyway, and they're trying to get hold of Peter Parker, and he starts running towards it, and I just turned to him and went, "Ain't there, Peter?" You could just feel it coming. Leaps to the hall, rips his mask off. Andrew Garfield, the entire cinema fucking erupted. And as I was saying in our other video, we Brits don't do that. That's how exciting this was, right? And the thing is, we all knew it was coming. It's been rumoured for months. It hadn't been confirmed. I think anyone with half a brain who follows how these things generally go kind of knew it was going to happen. But to have for the moment it happens is joyous. I had hairs standing up on the back of my neck. I had a little giggle in my stomach. What I was hoping, though, was that when he does it 2 minutes later, it wasn't going to be Tobey Maguire. I thought it would have been nicer to have dragged that out. I think there was a trick they could have played there where he does it again and it wasn't Tobey, but it is. Tobey comes more or less immediately. And I appreciate you don't want to give of the other two Spider-Mans? Spider people?
Spider-folk.
Spider guys. You don't want to give one more screen time than the other. I get that because of what they're doing, and it's, you know. But how great was it to see them both back on screen and together, and with you know, all of our beloved new characters. Just joyous.
With both of their characters still intact.
Yeah, completely.
They were, all three of them were very different Peter Parkers.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it when they're on top of like the construction of the Tower of Liberty, Statue of Liberty, and Tobey Maguire turns around and says to Andrew, "You're amazing." No, you are. You're amazing. I was wetting myself inside. I was like, that's brilliant. But the thing is, not a lot of people were giggling. I'm like, oh come on, surely you understand that joke. But nobody seems to be reacting to it. I was like, but he was the amazing. Never mind. And then the big surprise for me, and the only big surprise for me, because even the post-credit scene was pretty much content-wise what I thought, was the death of Aunt May. But the minute she said the words, "With great power comes great responsibility," I went, oh fuck, she's gonna die. You can't be an aunt or an uncle to Peter Parker, say those words and not cark it momentarily. It's just the way it's done. So I've chatted for ages, so I'm going to focus on you to give my hand a bit of a rest.
Okay.
Oh fucking hell, I'll drop the camera. While you just talk about some of your shit, because I've just waffled on forever.
Yeah, I mean,
that's Vicky's house, by the way. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one that's got the two lights on the zigzag.
Above it, yeah.
I was talking about the actual like room lights rather than.
Oh right, I couldn't see the room lights. I could just see Vicky's room.
This is why it never works out when you point out stuff to me, because we always end up looking at
completely different things.
But yeah, so you've kind of, I think, touched on a lot of stuff. I mean, I will say I wasn't surprised by Aunt May's death for one very simple factor, and this is potentially, actually, I mean, me just saying this is a huge spoiler, because she's died in other media.
Right, yeah.
So, given all of the, I think, the nods that I think this movie does into like the whole Peter Parker franchise, I was possibly more surprised by the non-appearance of someone else.
Miles Morales?
Yes. Although
you got a reference.
I was literally about to say that. So it said there was actually a reference to him in there, which, and again, very nicely done. And also, I think to a certain extent, it's Marvel getting much better at poking fun at itself.
Yeah.
About its,
whitewashed.
Yeah, largely undiverse casting up until sort of fairly recently. And also, again, a nice little redemption moment for one of the villains in the piece. But yeah, absolutely loved it. I don't really have much more to add than that.
No, I think for me, what this does, and this is what we kind of touched on earlier, is if you start in 2002 and follow Spider-Man through 3 Tobey Maguire films, 2 Andrew Garfield films, 2 Tom Holland movies. The car's like right up there, man. You can go now. Not Paul. I'm talking to the driver of the car in front. And all of Spider-Man's appearances, like you say, in Endgame and yada yada yada. This very definitely closes the book and gives them completely fresh ground to go on, which I think's great. It gives you, like I say, it gives you closure on Spider-Man franchises that were just left hanging because of creative decisions and decisions in our world or what have you. So I think that's kind of how it lands for me. I think it's great. Your end credit scene, I won't tell you what it is, but it's a hoot. And post credits, it's a trailer for Doctor Strange, basically. It's not kind of posted as a trailer, but it's disjointed. It's a trailer. It's basically a trailer. It just doesn't tell you it's a trailer. So Spider-Man No Way Home, well worth a watch, and catch it on a big screen.